In this video, I want to share the top things you should do if you're a business owner and you're thinking about what happens next. Welcome to the What Happens Next channel. Hi and welcome back, hopefully, to the What Happens Next YouTube channel. If it is your first time here though, feel free to take a look around. We've got insights for you designed to help you navigate, if you're in your 50s or 60s, that next stage in your life. Now you'll notice I'm not calling it retirement, and I do that intentionally because actually I believe that the next chapter can be as compelling and as exciting, whatever that looks like for you, as the previous chapters. And this channel is designed to help you, guide you, inform you on the options that you've got and the things that you might want to consider when you're thinking about what happens next. Now, we know that a lot of the clients that we work with are business owners. And the reason being is because when we're building individuals' financial plans, they want to see what impact their business has on their financial plan. I better tell you who I am first. My name's Chris Daems. I run a financial planning business called Savello, and we help people build financial plans to help them achieve their goals. And in this video, I want to specifically talk to you if you're a business owner and you're thinking about what happens next in your life. But before you do, and if you've watched some of our content already and you haven't liked and subscribed yet, please do. It allows us to have more amazing interviews, have really interesting conversations, grow the channel so that we can support you with navigating more. But we are lucky because we've already had loads and loads of really interesting conversations on the What Happens Next channel and specifically designed to help business owners. And today I want to share insights from three of our interviewees, three of our guests, in particular Mark Eccles, Daryl Bates-Brownsword and Joe Taylor, who were really insightful in terms of what we should think about when we're thinking about that next step as business owners. However, I'd also encourage you to look at all the other videos on the channel. We've got videos on financial well-being, physical well-being, identifying your clear purpose, your North Star. We've got videos on how to stay engaged at work, all sorts of different topics. And I'd love to know what you think. I'd also love to know what things are worrying you, because if there's things that we're not talking about on the channel, but you're thinking about during that journey of, being in your 50s and 60s and thinking about what's next, I want to make sure that we're building content that helps. So please let me know. And if I don't know, I'll make sure we get a guest on to support us have those conversations. And initially, I want to talk about the insights that Mark Eccles shared. Now, Mark has gone through his own What Happens Next journey. He started off as an electrician, built his electrical business, and now it's independently running without him. And now he spends his days as a business coach, helping other businesses make sure their business can work independently of their time. Now, I've known Mark for a few years now, know he's a really good guy, but also know the insights that he shares with people that are incredibly useful. Mark shared three top tips that were really insightful. Number one was, if you're thinking about what happens next, think about the future, think about the lessons you've learned in the past, but spend most of your time practically in today, because it's what you do today and the steps that you take along the way that's going to get you to that better tomorrow. Number two is build good habits. We know that good habits underpin everything we do in our lives, but we also know that habits, regardless of the stage of our lives we're at, are a work in progress. So focus on building those good habits to make sure that that next chapter is as fruitful as possible. And then the third tip was participate 100%. It's really easy to go along with the flow. It's really easy to just Do what you've been doing day in, day out. But I've got a feeling part of the reason you're probably watching this video is that you don't want to do that anymore. You're now at a point where you're thinking about making positive change in your life. And Mark recommends that if you're thinking about making that positive step, that positive move in the right direction, commit to it and start taking the small incremental steps to achieve what you want your ideal life to be. And I think that the starting point on that is work out what you really stand for. If you're thinking about how to achieve number 2 and improve your habits, and I know that I've got a lot of work to do on that as well, Mark recommended 3 books. He recommended The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, Atomic Habits, an amazing book by James Clear, and The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. All books that can support you to achieve the life you want as you're moving into that next stage. I'll put all links to all of the books that I'm recommending in the notes below. Feel free to give them a read and let me know how you get on. Daryl Bates-Brownsword is a business exit expert. He helps businesses sell, prepare for sale, and then also make sure that they're in a position where they get the most value for the hard work you've put into your business. And Daryl recommends 3 tips himself. Firstly, early preparation. Start thinking about what your exit strategy is for your business, and the more time that you've got, the better you're going to be able to do it. And Daryl recommends between 3 to 5 years to prepare for that business exit strategy. The second thing Daryl recommends is shifting your mindset from not only focusing on increasing revenue, but thinking about how to make your business worth more. And they're often the actions you need to take in just increasing revenue and getting more sales are different to actually improving the value of the business. There might be some work to do on systems and processes and some of the internal structures to make your business more valuable, that in that desire for growing revenue you might have ignored. But if you're thinking about exit, Daryl recommends it now might be the time to think about that. And number 3 is do the things that help build your business without you. And they come in 2 component parts. Systematization, making sure you've got structures, systems and processes for all the elements of your business. And delegation, making sure the business ultimately, and as much as it can be, isn't reliant on you. Our third interview that shared a bunch of different insights is our interview with Jo Taylor. Now, Jo runs an amazing talent management business where she nurtures individuals to perform at their best. Tip number 1 from Jo was personal fulfillment. Work out what makes you happy. Work out what makes you fulfilled, both in terms of what you enjoy doing, but also what you get real satisfaction from, and spend more time doing that. Number 2, if you've got teams within your business, emphasize the concept of the talented many. The amount of business owners that I see where we think about their financial plan and the value of the business, and we realise that actually what they've done is develop their own talent but not looked at their teams, and actually looking at their teams and thinking about how you can encourage, inspire and motivate and take the pressure off of you, frankly, as you think about what's next, is the way to go. The third tip from Jo was adapting to change. Now, we know that in 2020, the pandemic sort of forced us in our businesses to adapt to change. But Jo believes that the mindset of constant change and thinking about the change in our lives and in our businesses is a really important thing to do. That requires flexibility, open-mindedness, and the willingness to embrace changes critical for both individuals and organisations. So, I'd encourage you to watch the interviews with Mark, with Daryl, and with Jo, particularly if you run a business, and I'd love to know your thoughts. What was the one thing, please, in the comments that really resonated with you, either in this video or in the interviews? and let me know what you'd love me to talk about next. I'd love to share insights from experts in the areas that you're thinking about when you're considering the next step. Feel free to let me know in the comments. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're really liking the content, and we'll see you next time on What Happens Next.